All right. Hello and welcome from the Virginia 5. It's been a few weeks since the last update. I apologize for that. But things have been so busy on the ship, I haven't had time to edit these videos to get them ready for posting. So today is a big old video from the engine room of some of the things that have been going on in the engine of the Virginia 5 lately. So one of the first things we got done was checking bearing clearances. In this case, checking clearances on the ship's main shaft bearings. So how we do that is we use these little hydraulic jacks. Each piston is brought to the very bottom of its stroke, and then the hydraulic jack is slid underneath the crank rod there. An indicator is stuck onto the bearing, and then as someone jacks up the hydraulic jack, the indicator should tell us how much the bearing moves when it is pressed on. That process was done on all three crank bearings, and then can use a very similar method to measure the crosshead bearings. These are the crosshead bearings. This is where the piston rod connects to the crank rod. So the piston rod on a steam engine goes up and down, and then the crank rod is what makes circular motion around the crankshaft. So the crosshead here is where that up and down motion gets converted into circular motion. So we're attaching the indicator here to the side of the crosshead, and then have to very carefully fit the jack underneath the bearing here. And again, we'll press upwards on the bearing and see how much it moves. Fortunately, nothing of concern was found in any of these bearings, which means they don't have to get opened up this haul out. Meanwhile, at the front of the engine room, we can take a look inside the steam drum of the boiler.
Here's Laura. She's doing boroscope testing, looking for deposits in scale. When she gets a little closer, we'll show you exactly what she's doing.
Alright, so this is the steam drum of the boiler, which is the uppermost drum. Normally this would be about half full of water. And at the bottom of it are hundreds of tubes, which run down to the bottom of the boiler. And normally these tubes would be all full of water. That's why this is a water tube boiler. We have numbered all of them fore to aft, and then lettered all of them port to starboard. And then a boroscope camera is getting stuck down each one here by Laura, looking for any kind of blockages, buildups, or cracks.
You can kind of see some of it. This one wasn't as bad as some of the others.
Yeah, or some of the others, what, got a lot of
more bumps, like bigger bumps, I mean.
Oh, so.
Yeah.
Just from things building up in the tubes?
I think from some type of corrosion. That's, that one's, just taking samplings, basically. I numbered all the tubes from back to front, and there's 1 to 28 rows, and then goes all the way to the L, A to L.
Yeah.
Columns. So I can make some notes. This twisty thing is like, oh my God. This whole contraption. Welcome to my office. That's what I signed up for.
This is what you get for being the smallest engineer.
Uniquely qualified. Natural skill set. See that?
Oh, yeah.
That's one of them. I think that's probably yeah. Some overall corrosion. Like some type of that.
Okay. You might want to send your feet out first, yeah.
Look, I'll pass stuff up to you.
Yay! You shouldn't have worn a white hat in there.
Oh, that's fine. This is the one I painted.
Oh. Yay!
Phone is sitting on the transformer.
Yep.
With the pink charger. Can you just pass it to me?
I'll unplug it.
Yeah, that's fine. Thank you very much.
So what are you up to?
If that works, go by all means.
It's got a leak over here.
Uh-huh.
So leak water and steam. So I'm just sealing up the leak.
Okay, and this is atomizing steam line to the burner?
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Cool, all better now.
Well, what are you doing to the pump?
Did you want a straight answer?
Yes.
We've heard that one of these studs is stripped.
Ah.
And so it seems to, anyway, we're having a hard time finding where it might be stripped. But it does seem to leak steam quite a bit.
And speaking of stripped studs, we have a bit of a problem going on at the back of the engine room. So this is the stuffing box, also called a packing gland. This is where the propeller shaft travels out through the ship. There is a collar on the packing gland that allows us to tighten down on the packing, but the stud is stripped, which prevents us from being able to tighten down on this gland, which is a problem because then water leaks into the ship. So the metal plate here on the end of the stuffing box, which the stud is supposed to thread into, is cast iron, which meant that the mechanics here at the yard could not weld it. So instead, a plate is being bolted on over the original cast iron plate, and then a stud will be attached to this new plate, and then we'll be able to crank down on the collar of the packing gland again. And this will last us until there is time and funding to do a complete disassembly and rebuild on this entire stuffing box and packing gland.
Where's the hole? Right there.
Are you happy with how it's sitting?
Yeah, right there. Alright, don't go over tight with it. Okay. Transfer punch. Yeah, I know about you and yours.
Back back away.
Should I move my foot?
Maybe. I'll swing from up here. Broke my boss's foot with a hammer.
I can't believe you were laughing.
Getting horizontal pressure on the drill from this kind of low angle is pretty difficult. So using a crowbar actually let the machinists get that pressure they needed to drill the holes.
To not flex the drill bit, we gotta keep it straight.
And another task is to pull the packing rings out of this packing gland. The packing rings on this are very similar to the packing rings that got pulled out of the valves on the engine. They are big rings of abraded fiber with graphite. To get them out, you have these little tools called packing hooks, which have basically a corkscrew on one end that you screw into the packing, and then you just have to yank really, really hard to get the packing rings out. It's sometimes not easy. This one was successfully pulled out, but the next one ended up needing a little help from a come-along to get out of the gland.
I don't know. Especially just for doing some packing. Like, I haven't put an extreme amount of force on this thing.
Right.
There is some other packing that needs to be removed as well. This time, the piston rod packing from the main engine. That does require more jacking of the engine around to bring each piston to the bottom of its stroke in turn so that the packing can be removed. The pistons on the engine are 120 degrees offset from each other, so each one has a different bottom and top dead center.
Not very tight.
So this is the gland follower. It needs to be dropped and then opened to reveal the packing inside of it.
Okay, so probably need some leverage.
Should we tap on it? With this?
No, actually, that'd be going the wrong way anyway. Is there like small?
Oh, that's not
Nice. Okay. Try and do the same thing.
So you ready? I should take the nut off?
Yep, go ahead.
That's good. When I drop it, it'll be in a good place.
Remember that these nuts are going forward.
Yep, and then
It's the same orientation as the high pressure.
Yep, and then the fitting, of course, is on the aft end. The leak-off fitting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, you want it? I can get that one if it's easier for me.
So you can see a pin over here somewhere, right? Oh no, the pin's over on this side.
I see a pin on the aft side that's protruding slightly. Oh yeah, it goes all the way through. You're talking about this pin.
Yeah, so that's one of the alignment pins right there.
Okay.
I'll lose that. And then there's another pin right here.
Do we want to get those out now before we take the screws out?
So I think we have to. Where do we go?
I think I can see it better if I'm it's
Okay.
like that. Yeah, that's good.
That's what I love. That's the sound I like to hear.
Well, yeah, I also like the sound of nothing dropping into the bilge, because it almost could have there. It went so quick.
Okay. Where's the
The bucket, it's next to you.
next to me?
No, I'm
And
Is it a public tour today?
Yeah.
Did we get a full...
Yeah, we filled out our slots. We've got 2 tours, 11,
11 and 1.
1. Yeah.
That's a good sign. People are interested, huh?
Yeah, that's good.
one. I don't know if these are all. It should all be the same lengths, but maybe just keep an eye on that.
Maybe they've been watching the YouTube channel.
So that's top.
That first one came from the top on your side.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's the bottom.
Okay, that is the same length.
Okay.
Life's easier if they're all identical.
Yeah. You never know.
Turn it this way. I'm going to take those out from the back side. And you can keep an eye on this pin.
Okay.
Don't lose it.
Yeah. And it's probably not magnetic, is it? So that's not going to help
Well,
to have a magnet.
No, I'm sure it's brass or something. Of course, it's not magnetic. That would make life too easy.
Well, the other thing we don't want to drop is the whole freaking part. Yeah. I'll be watching this, and then the whole thing will go down.
Well, then use 2 hands.
Yeah. Or 3, I think. This is where they say you need 4.
Down at the top.
Yeah. Okay, that was...
Once all of the fasteners were taken off, this follower still wouldn't open up, and that's when they remembered that there is also a gasket on it. So the gasket is very carefully pried upwards, and we don't want to open it and don't want to replace it. So to keep it out of the way of the work, a little bit of painter's tape, and we can just tape it up to the underside of the piston.
Okay, stop for a sec. The pin is dropped. It's on my finger. Okay, I have it. Okay.
Huzzah!
This has to be.
Clay, can I hand this to you? I'm in a
Kind of an awkward position.
Okay, I have it.
Got it.
Yep.
Okay.
Got it.
Yay!
Pictures that?
Yeah.
This ring.
Especially the lower rings. I'll start breaking out trays.
They're done from up there or down here or what?
Tag team.
What do we have to do to release that?
You can slide the spring.
Just with fingers? Or you need some kind of...
I'll give you a pair of needle nose.
It's probably easiest to use a little pick and just slide the spring onto there, and then you can take the.
Jeff, get a pick, please.
Hang on to the pieces when you take.
How about you want to hold that? Okay, now the spring, does it? We just keep it there? Or
No, it unhooks.
Okay. So I'll hold. Well, or you hold this.
I got
Which
the
do
spring.
you
Go
want?
ahead.
Okay.
Go ahead and take pieces off.
Okay, now are we?
Alright, so these packing rings are made up actually of several pieces. So we have some labeled trays to keep track of what order all of these pieces went in. That'll help us replace them and make sure they all get back together in the same order that they came off.
Spring.
Right. There you go. Number 2.
And here's all of the packing parts, neat after they've been cleaned up, sitting in their trays. Now they can all be inspected, and the spare parts bin dug through to look for the appropriate replacement pieces for some of these. And then one of the last tasks that is getting done in this video is to remove the high pressure piston. This process is basically exactly the same as the previous video where we removed the low pressure piston, but the high pressure piston is significantly smaller. So the low pressure piston on this engine is about 27 inches in diameter. The high pressure piston is only about 8 inches in diameter. So that does make the entire operation quite a bit easier.
If size counts. If we break this ratchet, it's probably an expensive thing to replace.
So you really need to work out today.
There you go. Is it turning? Oh, there we go. Did it go or did the wrench go?
No, it turned. It broke. Go ahead. You can. Yeah. Once you get it going, it's not like pipe.
Clay, where do the sets for
There you go.
in there? It's in the small white bucket there. Now,
I think I have the one already with the two. Oh, it's in my pocket.
how far do you think we want to go?
Till the bottoms on as much threading gauge on as we can.
Well, that's as far as I can go by hand.
So this big piece of steel is known as the strong back, and it is for bracing against a hydraulic ram to pop the seal of the piston against the piston rod. We have a different length one for each of the 3 pistons on the engine. So the general idea here is that the strong back is attached to the piston using these 2 threaded rods, and then the hydraulic jack is sitting on top of the piston rod. So as the hydraulic jack is pumped, it's going to be pushing apart the piston and the piston rod to pop the piston off of the taper of the rod. Right.
So let's just double check here. So
Let's just stop and think. Yeah.
this is going to push up the strong back. It's going to pull on these 2 nuts, or pull on these 2 thread all, and then that's going to pull on the top of the piston. Oh, that's it. We popped it.
That's it?
I think so. Go up.
Keep going.
That was so...
Yep, it's loose.
Wow, that's
Yep.
it.
Yeah, because I believe if it's like the other pistons, the rod is tapered.
It's not a tapered fit.
Yeah, so all we have to do is just
I heard
break
it.
that taper.
Thank you.
Well,
I was expecting to be going at that for a while.
I know.
But
Well, you know what? It is threaded because it's going back down when you turn it. It's going up
Yeah.
and down, up and down.
you're right.
What? I
Huh.
thought it piston.
The piston is threaded onto the piston
Are
rod.
you
That's.
serious?
So we need to.
Or it's caught on it.
Oh, no, I think it's just caught on it. There we go.
When it cocked just a little.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got the touch, Jeff.
Do we want? You ready? Where are we gonna go with it? We gotta get rid of the chain before we can go anywhere.
Let's get it up high enough. Stop. Let's get it up high enough to stick that brush underneath there, so that we can. It'll sit down. Okay.
Or can you?
Just right here, you're talking about?
Yeah. What we're gonna do is put that underneath
Oh,
there,
okay.
so that
It doesn't escape.
fall back in the hole.
Okay. Snap this brush.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Now we can get rid of the chain.
Double duty brush.
have to? Okay, just going this far to start with. Okay. Let go of your. Okay. Bring it over to Jeff. Okay, ready, Jeff? You're gonna go up, over, and down, right? These are the hard. Okay, whatever. Yeah, go ahead, take it out. One person. Yeah, go ahead, take it out. You want to keep it in or not? Take it out. All right, Jeff.
Wow.
Here we go. Ken, do you have my flashlight?
So now we can have a look inside the high pressure cylinder. It looks just like the inside of the low pressure cylinder, just smaller. There is a steam port at the bottom and a steam port at the top. You can just see the bottom steam port down there. The liquid on the side of the cylinder is hydraulic oil because the hydraulic jack leaked all over the top of the piston. So we'll have to fix that. Anyway, so the steam vent at the bottom allows either steam in under the piston or exhausts steam at the bottom of the stroke, and then there's another vent at the top.
What's going on there?
Well, see, they put that groove in there to check wear.
Oh, okay.
So, like here, it's disappeared. Yeah. So we are seeing significant wear.
Probably, if that goes away for a given percentage of the 360 degrees, that tells you it's time to, yeah.
So the worn ring is going to be removed and replaced. The high pressure piston just has single piece rings, unlike the low pressure piston. As I pointed out in our video on the low pressure piston, the pistons of steam engines are flat on both sides, and that is because these pistons get pushed both up and down in the cylinder.
We got to make sure we don't do that to the one coming out.
Yeah. Get to clean the piston.
Oh man. Part that no one sees.
It's the most important part of the
The
ship.
heart of the boat.
Oh,
which I
one of the most
love.
important parts of the ship. We don't go anywhere without a piston.
Honor.
And these are original to the well, they're original to the engine, so they're even older than the ship is.
What year was the engine again?
1904.
Wow.
The IP is not original because they broke it in the 70s,
Oh.
but I'm pretty sure the HP and the LP are.
Okay.
Yeah. Hilariously embarrassing, they broke the IP piston in the 70s while on a charter for the National Association of Boiler and Pressure Vessel Inspectors.
Oh, God. What happened?
Don't know. The
Wild.
the records I found didn't detail exactly
I'm sure
what
it did
caused
not.
the incident. It just said that the engine has never been examined by so many qualified people at once.
Hey, they had experts around. That helps.
Yeah.
Alright, so thank you for joining us for this video. It was a long one. We got a lot of stuff done in the engine room, and there's a lot more to go, as well as a lot more carpentry to go. So be sure to tune in for our next video. Thank you for watching, and you can subscribe to the channel to get an update as soon as we get the next video posted. I'll see you next time.